Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? Um, explain real quick. Well, I have two things to explain, and I'll make it quick. When you get bumped to the front of the line, sometimes there's other people that have already paid to be bumped to the front of the line, so you got to wait behind those people that have already been bumped before you. So, sorry, it doesn't mean it's going to be the next minute or the next day. It just bumps you up above all the others. Um, I'll never be a dial psychic. Nah, that's never going to happen. But anyways, I don't think I've done a reading for you before. I don't remember doing it, but um, I like to explain real quick how this works. I feel, hear, see, sense, know. Like I said, they're wrong. They talk to me. They also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. Try to describe the picture the best I can. There is always a reason for whatever they say or show. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either see it later, remember it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, oh, I know what they're talking about. Non exact science. We communicate the best way we can. So sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. He's not going to give me all the details. Details are none of my business. He'll give me just enough so you should know what he's referring to. Okay, hang on. They usually start talking before I get done. Crap. There was one more thing I was going to say real quick. Um, 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 um. Oh, and I have, when I first started doing readings, I would actually feel and see and smell and everything the way that they passed. And then I would cry after each reading. So I'd ask him not to show that to me anymore unless it's absolutely necessary. So we'll see how far he goes with this. They kind of know my boundaries. It's his ball game. It's his show. It's up to him to say or do whatever he feels. They know best. They honestly know best. So he says he wants to help you. He he wants to help you with a heavy burden that you feel like you're carrying. He wants to help you with the guilt of him leaving. He feels like that's a heavy burden, that somehow you feel like it's you're responsible, your fault. I mean, maybe not totally, but maybe just a little bit, maybe a piece of it. He wants to help you. And I promise you 1,000%, he can hear you, he can see you. Talk to him all you want to. He's talking about a fireplace right now. Um, I don't know if you've been somewhere around a fireplace, or maybe I don't know if he's trying to. He'll give me a couple of things to validate that it's him, and I don't like the whole reading to be about validations because that's just a medium patting himself on the back, going, "Oh, look what I can do." It's about him getting his message across to you. But he's showing me a fireplace now. Whether this was before he left or after, he's not saying yet. And there's a fire going, and it looks like real wood because there's like this puff of like coming out of the fireplace, like this puff of maybe like a pop, like sparks, like poof. So I'm not sure what he's validating with this, but like I said, there's always a reason for whatever he's going to say or show. I can't imagine that being a sign. Okay, now he's shown himself with his head in his hands. He's, let's see where he goes with this. He says, yes, I did it. I felt trapped, felt like I had no way out, was not in a good place, too many negative people around me. He holds his hand up like this and he says, "My fault. I put myself in that situation." And now he's going like this. He goes, "I could have moved my feet. I could have walked out. I could have gone somewhere else. I could have made any change I wanted to, but I didn't. That's on me. Definitely not your fault. That's my choices, my judgments, my opinions, my life, my dumb mistakes. Not yours, not Joe Blow's, mine. We all make our own choices. I made mine. I made a lot of dumb ones. I shouldn't have let you go. And now he's kind of talking about his head kind of being scrambled up. I don't know, but I don't feel like it was like bad scrambled up, but it was like now he's shown himself in this deep hole, and there's a ladder, and he's climbing this ladder. He's trying to climb out of that dark hole that he would get himself into. And he says, "Nobody put me there except myself. I own my shit." And I chose to be around these people. But it's still not their fault. It's mine. I did not have to be there. I could have made wiser choices. I could have stayed and taken care of you guys like I should have. He says, "It's on me. It's on me. I need you to let go of that string, that thought that somehow some of this was your fault, because it's not." He says he would sit there and think of happier times with you guys, and he would go, "I fucked that up. I shouldn't have. I should have pulled my head out of my ass." But I am okay with where I'm at. I needed a break. I needed to rest. And now I am. He feels very, very calm, very peaceful. So, like when he put his head in his hands, it's not because he's feeling that way now, it's because he felt that way here. When we go to the other side, whatever you call it, I always tell people they peel us like an onion. They take all that heavy negative energy that latches onto us and we can't refuse to let go of. It's not that we can't let go of it, we refuse to let go of it. I do it too. And they peel it off of us until our vibration is pure and bright and light, and they cleanse us from all the heavy earth energy. If you haven't heard him, you will hear him try to whisper in your ear. He's trying to whisper, "I'm sorry." He's trying to apologize to you for all the stuff that he shouldn't have done. or the things that he didn't do that he should have. He says, I can see it now. And he says, there's not one person down there that I would blame because none of them, say it again, there's not a single person down there I would blame because it wasn't their choices that I made. It was my choices that I made. I own it. And if I had owned it when I was there, then he shakes his head and goes, yeah, I still probably wouldn't have changed it. I just, it was like he was kind of lost. And I don't want to say depressed. I don't want to say gave up. It's just like he was just, I don't know what else to do. I've got myself in this pickle. So don't feel sad for me because I needed the rest. I needed to. Should I have done it? No. I still could have found other options. I was just tired. Tired of fighting myself. He says, not about anybody else. I was tired of fighting myself. But I did love you. And I do love you. You are a remarkable woman. I did not appreciate that when I was here. He says it was all about me, me, me. And I shouldn't have done that. He said he says there are some things that should be about me, me, me when it comes to anybody, but there's some things that shouldn't be about me, me, me. A fine line sometimes. How I wish I had changed it. Mostly because of the people I hurt. He's being very quiet, very soft, very peaceful. Something about your hair. Something about your hair. I don't know if you've recently changed it, colored it, cut it. I don't know. He's just mentioning your hair. Something he likes about your hair, or did like about your hair. Not sure which. Okay, you mentioned you have a daughter with him. And so I asked him something, and he says, please don't let her go down the same path. And I don't think he means that she has a tendency that she's going to go do the same thing he did to leave. Help her to understand when she gets in a situation. That's her choice, and she can choose to get out of it. Okay, he's reminding me of, I always tell people, your life is all about choices. You choose whether to buy a greenhouse or a blue house. You choose whether to buy a white car or a black car. You choose whether to wear a red shirt or a green shirt. I mean, all those, you choose whether to work at Walmart or the grocery store. You make those choices. Those are your free will choice. And he said, and those are the things I did. I chose those things. He says, if you can learn to let go of this baggage, you are just going to be so uplifted. And he wants more than anything for you to smile and be happy and be bright and be a shining star for your daughter. Okay. You should only, I also tell people, put all those things that he's owning up to that are his, they're not yours. They're his. Put them in a suitcase. Imagine putting them in a suitcase, setting it down, and walking away from it. Let him pick it up. They're his. They belong to him. They don't belong to you. You can't keep them. You shouldn't keep them. Those are his choices, his things, his baggage. He doesn't want it to be your baggage anymore. He's something about you going outside in the gentle breeze. I don't know for sure what he's referring to. They don't always explain. And letting your hair blow and just standing there and breathing. I don't know what part of the country you live in. It's pretty nice here today, kind of. Might even get the Jeep out with no top on. He wants you to understand that he loves you. He says pure love. It's different up here. This is pure love. Doesn't even have to be in love. It's pure love. So he's got his head clear. He's pretty smart about all this. He says he sees things from a different perspective now that he couldn't. He said he felt like he had a blindfold when he was here. He just couldn't seem to see past what he needed to. Almost like he had a ball and chain hanging on him, just dragging him down. But that was of his own making. So I always tell people, I tell people a lot of times, hold your hand out. Not like this, real stiff, just relaxed. Hold your hand out. Hold your hand out. Sit on the couch, whatever. Hold your hand out relaxed and ask him to hold your hand. It could take you 10 times, it could take you 50 times. Everybody's different. And eventually you'll feel something in your hand. You'll feel pressure or warmth or something. When I do my woo-woo walks by the river, I call them, I'll usually ask somebody to walk along, hold my hand, and sometimes I can actually feel them holding my hand. But we don't have these fingers anymore. We're energy when we go up there. We don't need this. Heavy body is just our soul, our spirit's vehicle to run around on earth in. It's just a vehicle. So, and then sit there and talk to him all you freaking want to. I used to ask my mentor, my medium friend, when I would ask her, is Bob listening to me? And she'd go, yeah, but you talk too much, Rhonda. Sometimes he goes, and has to shut you off for a little bit. You get carried away. And I know. They don't usually do that, but I did a lot of blabbering back a few years ago. I know how it is. So talk to him all you want to. Walk through the house as you're heading for the dishes and go, hey, how you doing this morning? Pop in, stop and see, give him permission. If you want signs from him, if it's okay for him to come into your home, sit there and hold your hand, tell him it's okay. Give him permission. I've done readings where I'll see their loved one standing in the corner of the living room like, I don't think I should come forward because I don't want to scare them. I don't want to, I don't know if it's okay for me to come forward. And And of course, part of it's beliefs. And then I have people ask me to go cleanse their house, and they go, I've got a demon in my house, and I go, no, it's just grandma. She's just trying to let you know she's around. It's not always something dark. Sometimes it's just your loved one. So giving permission, asking. Okay, I don't know how old your daughter is. He's not showing me, but he is showing that he goes and sits in her room at night when she's sleeping. I don't think he steps forward. I don't know that she knows he's there, but his presence stops into her room and checks in on her. He says every night. And I will say almost all kids, animals, and almost all small children below the age of 9 or 10. When you get to be about 9 or 10, then you start looking around going, society's going to think I'm crazy if I tell them I see my dad. So he's not giving me any indication how old your daughter is. So if she's under that age, watch for her to be offering somebody a cookie in the air or talking when she's in her room, jabbering to somebody. He's not showing me that they're interacting, though. He's pretty much showing me like he's not making his presence known. If she's older, she'd probably poo-poo it if she thought she saw him. So he's making noise in your bathroom. He's rattling the doorknob in the bathroom. Listen for the doorknob or the door moving, squeaking, or you open it and it's shut, or vice versa, or something being moved in the bathroom. Watch for that. And that's him trying to let you know he's there. And if he bothers you after hours or if he scares you, tell him. I don't like you doing that. And now something about the hairbrush, something about your hairbrush. So watch your hairbrush. So again, he's over here in my ear and he's trying to whisper, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So you may not hear the words. You could hear pss, 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 or buzzing or something, and it should just be in one ear. And if you can't understand the words, but you get like like when Bob comes close, he literally my ear will turn red. His energy's so strong, he gets right up here, sometimes the side of my face. One time it was so hot that I thought I was getting the virus. So I got the temperature thing up, boop, okay, boop, over here, and the alarm went off. It was literally his energy. So that can happen. Everybody feels it different. So I don't know for sure how to affect you. But if you hear something, feel something, tell him, I know that's you. I can't understand you. Maybe his frequency is too high or something. And sometimes I think they don't understand. They need to lower their frequency a little more for you to understand the words. He says you'll get the hang of it, but he says he's not going to bug you. He's just going to let you know he's around and that you're safe and things are going to be okay. I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know what he's doing. Hang on, let me see what he's doing. He's around you quite a bit, but I don't really feel like he's making his presence too known. You know how when somebody walks into the room behind you and you don't hear him, you don't see him, but you feel him. You feel like somebody's watching you, type of thing. And he's not doing anything creepy, I promise. Nothing creepy. But he stands pretty close to you a lot. So you might just have that feeling that somebody's there. And sometimes that takes a while. I ask him for a song. I have no clue how old you are. I don't creep anybody's Facebook page ahead of time. Messes up what little logical mind I have. And I said, okay, give me a song to give her. He's singing Roll Me Over in the Clover, Do It Again. That's the song I used to sing when I was a kid, like junior high, maybe before. Go Google it. Don't, I didn't Google the words to it. I don't have Alexa in this room. I need to put one of them in here because usually I'll ask her for the words or something. Don't know who sang it. Roll Me Over in the Clover, Do It Again. And he's being very lighthearted about it. So he's ready and willing to help, whether it's you or the daughter. So I always tell people they cannot override your free will choice. Just like nobody could override his free will choice of making the choices that he did. That's our free will choice. And my guides could sit up there going, Rhonda, we gave you such better shit than this. And why are you doing that? My free will choice. So if there's something you need help with, you or the daughter, and I always tell people, don't ask. Ask Uncle Joe to help you. If he didn't have a pot, if I'm muttering, if Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in when he was here, don't ask him for financial help down here because he didn't understand how it all works down here, or he didn't care to, whichever. So ask him to help you with something he would have been good at helping you with, something he would understand, you or the daughter. Don't forget, love never dies. Yeah, he's showing a waterfall. Like, I'm going to say in the jungle, but it's not a jungle. It's not a jungle, but it's out. He showed me this big, big, big waterfall. I don't know why. I don't know if you've been to a place like this. You're going to start seeing waterfalls. You're going to go see a waterfall. I don't know. It's not a little trickling one, but sometimes they make it extra big for me to make sure I pay attention and catch on to that's what he's talking about. So it could be a smaller waterfall. It sounds a little vague, but that's just the way it works. So he says, just talk to him. Again, he says, just talk to him. He hears you. Tell him whatever you want. He says, I have big shoulders now. I can take it. I know I was a dumb buck, and I admit that. Hindsight. Hindsight. Okay, with that, my dear, he's leaving. Give my baby a hug for me. He says, I don't think she will feel my hugs, but I honestly don't feel like he has approached her. And like I said, I have no clue how old she is. He's not showing me. None of my business. If it was important, he would have showed me. Shown me. Okay. Thank you for being patient and understanding. There were some people in front of you. Sorry. Starting to get really busy. See you later. Much love to you, Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later.